Okay, so today, guys, we're reading creepypastas. And if it was, oh, there it goes, it loaded. Okay, so the first one is Skyrim Secret. I don't know if I read that wrong, but hopefully I didn't. And here we go, let's get right into it. If there are any Skyrim players on here, beware of a place called Hush for Tap Manor. It exists outside the playable area in the southwestern most end of the map, directly south of the marker. You'll see it on the edge of a mountain as what appears to be a clearing with a rectangular white structure at the end. White, I meant. At one end, I found it only one day while playing around with console commands on the game. See, I was bored, and developers tend to leave some interesting Easter eggs or unfinished concepts in the game. In the Great Beyond, quote unquote Great Beyond. So, oh, what the heck? It's a head? Oh, what the hell? So, so I used a command allowing myself to click through the invisible wall that prevents you from leaving the map and explore around a bit. The first hour or so, okay, here we go, another. I didn't really see much beside empty forests and mountain ranges. I didn't come across the model for what looked like an Uri consonant? Oh, consonant, or whatever, I don't know how you pronounce it, I'm sorry. For the former. And one of the developers apparently carved his initials into the side of the mountain, but that was really about it finally. While approaching the southwest mountain range, I thought I saw what looked like a structure on the other side. My curiosity sparked. I clambered up the mountain with surprising ease and landed in a large grassy yard in front of an enormous mansion. In the front mansion was a wooden sign that read Hush for Top Manor. The mansion itself was surprisingly little rest for a game this recent and lacked a lot of graphical detail. And aside the two large rectangular windows on the either, other either side of the door, and four featureless common lining the porch lawn. The lawn was also rudimentary, lacking any sort of decoration or graphical texture, existing instead as a little more than a wide sea of room. This must have been a planned location that was abandoned early on in development. I entered the mansion, which turned out to be nothing more than a bare frame. No furniture, lamps, or trophy heads were present to decoration. The wooden walls were the only decoration this place had. Was a small podium on the very black wall, with features black book resting on it. I approached the book, pressed the prompt, which oddly didn't give a. Oh, what the heck? Wait, I'm sorry, guys. Which oddly, didn't give the title. Just said read. Through displaying the page was complete except number one in the left corner. Placing the book down, I turned to leave and was unexpectedly greeted by an NPC I hadn't seen on the way in. It was a young woman, apparently a Nord, with jet black hair and wearing a long blue gown. She sort of looked like Linda, but thinner and with longer hair. The woman stood in the center of the mansion, just staring at me, her head following me as I walked around her. As I came to even with her, she said bluntly, "Wealth is temporary. What is here today will be gone tomorrow." I wasn't sure what this meant. Maybe some unrealized quest involving retrieving this woman's gold, stolen gold. I determined there was no more to see here and left the mansion. This was certainly interesting. Find it an entire location and the character forgotten in the code game. I just uncovered them. And speaking of the character, I intended at some point to find that woman's code so I could bring her into the main game and make her marryable. She's kind of hot. That's funny. We'll have to add that in. Unfortunately, the high point was overwritten by a horrible next day on, oh my god. Someone came behind me, knocked me over, grabbed the wall out of my pocket, and ran off. I didn't see their face, only that they were wearing jeans and a black hoodie. That really wasn't a tremendous help to police. They said it'd be difficult. This de- de- definitely sucked, even though I can call and cancel my credit card. I had about $80 in my wallet, and I'm damn near broke as it is for some reason. I couldn't help recall what that woman in Skyrim said. What this temporary, what is here today will be gone tomorrow. I knew it sounded silly, but I couldn't shape the phrase from my mind. Maybe there was a connection. Oh, whoops. Don't turn on. What the hell? Oh, there we go. Maybe there was a connection. I ultimately dismissed dismissed this thought as ridiculous. After all, who had heard of a magic fortune-telling video game? However, I did need some cheering up. After this, I fired up Skyrim and decided to return to Husfortap Manor. As last time, I neglected to find out the mysterious woman's name, which would be helpful, but I'm going to hack her code and marry her. After journeying back to and a killing a very persistent dragon along the way, I climbed back over to the mountain and reached the mansion. Something was different about the bright white that had floated messenger day now now faded into almost dirty white, and the windows were coated in thin layer of dust, making the view so inside slightly translucent. Oh wait, how long is this? Oh, that's not long. That's really not long. That's like a book. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. Shit. Oh, shit. I'm sorry. Where's the white planet? Oh, shit. God damn, how did I scroll? Well, as though had aged. Oh, oh snap. Wrong. Dirt White is. Oh yeah. I perched anyway and stepped inside to surprise the one had seemingly undergone as a change well. She was a few inches taller. Her tail was a slighter shape than from before. She had noticeable brown lines. Oh yeah, lines. It was almost as if she had aged degree, not drastically, but she wasn't the hot young 20 something I ran into yesterday. The woman's deep gown also looked a bit faded as the days drew. As I approached, I noticed that the prompt to talk to her never appeared, making it possible to know the woman's name. When I looked into her face, she offered me a faint smile, coupled with the slight sigh, almost as she was faking being happy to see me. A man's work hard for a scorn, she sounded like, but when he ceases to be useful, he is cast away to start. What the hell? Great, another cryptic message from an unmarriable NPC of unknown name in the bare house of nothing but useless book. Disappointed. Left us for that manner. For what I intended to be the last time. It was a fine, but there wasn't anything of real value there. The next day, I was hit with another whammy as I came into work at the corner of the gas station. My boss pulled me into his office and told me that the place had gone over budget and he had to let a few of us go. And sadly, certain someone was among these few. I tried to explain my financial state as well as a little accident yesterday with my wallet, but my boss merely apologized and said nothing we could do, that he simply didn't have enough money to pay me. Whatever, that was a crap job anyway. As I walked home, a thought came to me besides my hatred for my boss. That is, this was twice the woman in blue had predicted my fate the other day. She said something about the loss of weight right before I get my vengeance. Now she mentioned workers cast away. Am I employed the next day? I know I just dismissed this thought as a silly. This thought is silly, but what if the mysterious woman was predicting my future? And then I decided to show what the Easter egg to one of my friends who'd also been trying to explore the outer fringes of Skyrim with no luck. I had to explain to him all the weird things that happened, including being losing my job and the cryptical messages that predicted both. Dude, that's so weird, my friend said when I told him what happened. I wasn't sure he fully believed me. I know. Oh, snap. Oh, I'm sorry. I got that. I'm kind of afraid to go back, but maybe I can use this as a heads up from all now. Oh, what's up? What's up, diggity dogs? Say stop. I started up digging and returned back to the mansion, which was now in even worse shape than yesterday.
Dang, you got a mansion?
It's a game, bro. Chill out. It looked like the white paint was whatchamacallit, is actually starting to peel off, revealing a stony gray undergrowth. Tiny cracks are also beginning to form here and there. If nothing else was giving the mansion some texture and personally unpleasant one. When I entered, I saw the woman had aged as well. This time her hair was beginning to gray and she had noticeable wrinkles on her face. She looked like she was about in her 50s. This time her dress was beginning to tatter and lose its color. I thought you said she was a young woman, my friend said. She was last time. Every time you visit the house, I replied. She ages every time you visit the house. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. I replied. My friend was confused by this, with the good reason, seeing as how NCPs in this game don't age. I approached the woman, exhaled in her face, almost looked, said, "Your home is sanctuary, and all you do can to preserve it." She spoke, but what happens when others aren't as responsible? Her tone sounded very melancholy. Did you hear that? I asked my friend one time. I didn't hear anything, dude. He said when he opened her mouth, all I heard was static. I packed up my computer and ran out the door as fast as I could. I could and tore down the street towards my apartment. Maybe I could get home and to stop whatever was going to happen because the game predicted it. Doesn't mean it's happening yet, right? There might still be some time. I thought to myself. There might still be some time. Oh gosh. Oh, I'm almost at the end of this. Nice. I don't need to get close to. Whoa. I don't need to get close to things. What used to be my apartment was a glowing orange in front of firemen were already at the scene attempting to quell the fire, but it wouldn't be enough to salvage my burning home. Speechless, I couldn't do nothing but look on despair, my room crumbling, falling to pieces before my eyes. I'm gonna have to stand back, sir, one of the firemen ordered me. What the hell happened? I cried. One of the residents left their stove on the gas and spread into the air. We think that they went to light a cigarette and the entire room went up. The fireman explained. Did you live here? And at the fireman apologized and offered his condolence. I didn't know what to think. On one hand, I was glad I wasn't inside the apartment thanks to my discovery of this Easter egg. However, I lost everything I owned in that fire, all except for my laptop and this copy of Skyrim. Luckily, my friend let me stay at his place for a while, so at least I had a roof over my head for the next couple of weeks or so. I focused on trying to get another job so I could rent a new apartment room. Yet I was having no luck whatsoever. I told my girlfriend to end the whole su- sin- su- okay, I can't pronounce it. Situation from the mugging to me getting fired to my apartment getting burned down. However, I did leave out the Skyrim portion zone as she neither a gamer up to Susan was overcome with sympathy towards my situation and offered to talk to her boss to see if I could get a job there where she works. She's really one of a kind, I thought to myself. Of course, oh, this is on. Well, not that early. I'm only like, oh, whoops. Oh, that's what just happened. What the hell? Oh, there we are. Oh, what? It's not. Well, guys, I'm afraid we're gonna have to end it. Oh, there we go. What happened? Hmm. Oh, oh God. Of course, I still put out what have been 8 job applications that day just to be safe. Afterwards, afterwards, I was mentally exhausted and ready to get lost in my video game once again. I decided not to visit the sports tab, relax my mind. All was going well for a bit, and I took on a few random quests, raided and bandit camp, and brought down a few bears that mysteriously appeared. Corey? I don't know. Approached me in the forest. He did hit usual bit about having left on my hand, and then he handed me a note called Skyrim Note 367 dot period east dot. This was made especially bizarre by the fact that I was in the wilderness when this happened, and typical carriers only hand you the messages instantly. Regardless, I read the note. I pulled it in my inventory and saw that it had one sentence: "Do not come back." This had to be from the woman in blue. I understood why each visit causes her to age. We both knew that eventually she'd age to death. Be that as it may, this woman had a gift that could mean the difference between life and death for me. If I needed her predictions could help me prevent possible disaster, I need to know them regardless of the consequences to her. The needs of flesh and blood human were above and of an artificial intelligent sent, sentence, sentence, I believe, or not. I was definitely going back to the manor. I decided to immediately head for Hussport after all. Oh, what the? Oh, there we go, that's better. After all, on the map, I entered the console command and out of the Bounds Mountain until I reached the mansion. God dang, the mansion. I entered the console command and scaled out of the Bounds Mountain until I reached the mountain, which was now almost completely dilapidated. I don't know. One of the support columns had fallen over, littering the front porch with rubble. The windows had all now been busted out, revealing an interior that was uh, also checkered with spiderweb. Their inhabitants eyeing me cautiously. The woman inside had aged along the house, but a bit more drastically hurt this time. Her her hair had completely turned white. Her face was heavily wrinkled, and she was beginning to hunch over. She looked like she was in her late 60s or early 70s. Her blue gown had now faded into more bluish gray and was littered with rips and tears. As soon as she saw me, the woman outstretched her hands in protest and shook her head, her face commencing a look of fear and desperation. However, she did not back away or run, as I thought. She was fixed to that one spot in the middle of the room. I approached the woman, deafening it, causing her to lower her arms and hang her head in defeat. Love is a powerful feeling, the woman choked, her eyes glassy as though she was about to cry. But so fragile, the chaotic world, which shows no mercy even though the closest of lovers. Well, that's messed up, bro. He's about to get his girlfriend. My heart dropped. The person I loved more than anyone in the world was Susan. We'd been going out for 3 years, and we were perfect for each other. If anything had happened to her, it would destroy me. I slammed my laptop shut and grabbed the keys to my friend's car, who luckily was asleep, and floored it to Susan's house. During my drive, I could only pray that I would get to her in time. I waited several days to turn Charles, but what if I already found out too late? Arriving at my girlfriend's house, that her kitchen light was on good. At least she was home. I approached the door and pounded on it several times. No answer. Susan lay there. I heard my voice and shaky from sheer tear. After a few seconds, I knocked again, my stripes louder and more frantic this time. Susan, please open the door, I called again, pounding fiercely, to which there was no response. Oh God, I'm only in half of this? Pounding fiercely. I'm mortified now. Unable to waste another second, I ran the door as hard as I could with my shoulder. Once and then the second time. Finally, I charged full force at the door, causing it to give way. I hurried into the kitchen, only to find out my worst fear had come true. I was too late. The love of my life lay motionless on the kitchen floor. Her mouth was dripping foam, and her head lying in a puddle of blood. What the hell? Susan wasn't a poet. She nearly had an episode and hit her head. I literally felt my soul shatter into a million pieces. Ooh, that's some small pieces. R.I.P. for him. Like if you want his soul to get back together. Not able to remove my gaze from the dead body of my girlfriend, I staggered forward and felt on my knees. If I had just been here 3 minutes earlier, she may still be alive. I lifted Susan's head, the puddle of blood, and held her to the chest, sobbing uncontrollably. At that moment, I wanted nothing more than her to reach out and hug me back in the way. I died that night as well. Nearly a week had passed since my girlfriend, yet that horrible night burned fresh into my mind. Why wasn't I quick enough? Why hadn't I gone to receive the woman's prediction earlier? I just couldn't bear this guilt any longer. No matter which way you look at it, Susan's death was my fault. Well, it's really the fortune teller's fault. And his. This face. It's fucked up. Or was it the fortune teller had to know for some time that this would happen, yet she wasted all that valuable time with far more trivial predictions. I could live without $80 stolen from me, all that crap dining room. Hell, could even my apartment could have been replaced, but Susan was my love, my soul. I plans to marry her one day. Yep, this woman chose to tell me the least important fortunes first, knowing of what would happen eventually happened. She revealed Susan's fate from the get-go, or informed me in the note that she is getting hacked the game to send me no less. I could save my girlfriend. This was all her fault. He still was booting up my laptop. I could see nothing but red. I was going to kill her. I was going to bust down that mansion door and break her old body with the strongest weapon my character had. I was very far at the end of the map, as far away from hospital as I could be. Plant me wherever you want on the map, bitch, and won't save you. I barreled through the land faster than my character could, mowing down any unlucky enemy that crossed my path. Nothing was going to get away. My mind was fixated. I could thinking of nothing. I could think of nothing more than avenging my girlfriend's death. The forests and hold of Skyrim flew past my vision in a blur in a blur of. I literally stopped for nothing. At least I'd reached the mansion, which had completely collapsed into a pile. And now, equipped in my warhammer, I was just itching to bash the old woman's brains in. I ducked under the fallen beams and clambered over the piles of collapse to find the woman in her usual position of the center where the boat come in. She was older than I'd ever seen a human being. She was hunched, trembling, looking like she was hardly able to stand up. Her arms looked more like skin strips over her bones. Her hair was nothing more than wisps of light, and her exist and her gown existed simply as rage strips wrapped over her curling form. To be honest, the woman looked barely alive at all. In this moment, my rage and hatred gave way almost gave way to almost pity. Her advanced age was clearly putting her in a great deal of pain. I put away my hammer and just stared there and just stood there at a loss for what you do. You came back, the woman breathed. The woman breathed, and what was a little more than a loud whisper. Why did you come back? Why couldn't you just stay away? I could tell she was sad, but simply too exhausted. At this moment, they came over me. I fully understood for the first time. This woman was not a simple, mindless, I know acting out programming, but rather a living and thinking being who existed within the game. I didn't know where she came from or who put her there, but she was nevertheless. What are you talking about? I caught myself asking out loud. The woman, almost as if she had heard me, raised a trembling arm to point to a book at the back of the inn. I was confused. The last time I looked at it was blank for what's different now? God dang. How long is this? Oh, yeah, part of the story. So I found myself overcome by curiosity and opened the iBook once more. To my surprise, the contents of the book had completely changed. Rather than doors, now the numbers 1 through 5 run down the page, which each a different symbol by it. The first seven was that of Skyrim Thieves Guild, the second Shadow of a Becker, and the third Burning Gas, and the fourth of a Broken Heart, and the fifth Entry Blink. Wait, if this place knew my future, why was the final Entry Blink? Then oh shit. Oh snap, I have to go check on my grandma's. Never mind. It was something upstairs. Oh, what the heck? Oh, there we go. Why was just waiting for it to load, guys? I'm sorry if this was too long. I know it's like a 30-minute video right now. I don't know how long this is going to be. Oh god. This will work. What the? That was different. Stop. Wait, if this Wolf the Moose. Wolf the Woman in Blue wasn't predicting my future after all. What if my visions were were actually causing all these things to happen? They did seem to happen very shortly after speaking to Woman in Blue. It made sense now. The woman wasn't at fault. She was simply the messenger of whatever was responsible for the actions plaguing me. Yet I had to hear messages for them to take effect. That's why she wanted me to resign here. She moved my visits would eventually lead to Susan's death. She tried to stop me, but I wouldn't listen. Now my girlfriend is dead, and my life was in shambles just because of our ignorance and stupidity. Shaken, I closed the book, turned to leave, only to see a horrifying sight. The woman was dead. Her body was completely decayed. She honestly looked like a Dracula with dark gray rags thrown over. I clutched in her skeletal hand, which I dare not to read, for I knew what it would say. This man had taken everything from me, and now there was one thing left it could take. Terrified and still furious, I switched off the computer, ripped the game out of the disk, and tossed it into the trash, ensuring my Mana's final curse went undelivered. A month has passed since I threw the game away. I'm completely broke now. Mr. Without my friend's sense of charity is gone, and he kicked me out, and I have no family who can take me in. So now I'm completely alone. The possessions I have now are the clothes on my back and the laptop, which I intended to sell after I type this, so so I can finally get some fresh food. Still have no explanation for what happened to me or where Husfortap is manor came from in the first place. All I know is that are there are forces in the world that we can't even begin to understand, and when tampered with, they will destroy us. I had to learn this lesson the hard way, and I hope that none of you will make the mistakes I did. If you happen to cross that mansion in your game, do not enter it, and do not speak to a woman in blue. As for me, though, I will always reveal for what that place did to me. Every night when I go to sleep, I toy with the idea of going to a landfill and that copy of Skyrim so that I can return to Husband and receive its last message. After everything Husband Tap has taken me, maybe it can give me something. Peace. Skyrim secret credit to Seam Billions. Well, that's the end of it, guys. I hope you loved it. Well, hope you have a good day, and bye. Peace out. Love you guys.